So in my previous video, I mentioned how Dogecoin was actually about to have another temporary rise in the price before we finally have another drop in the crypto market. And that's exactly what we're seeing today. So that's what we're going to go over today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. But look at this. This is kind of crazy here because we were talking about this. And look, typically when we have this dotted line coming down here to that support, it's typically always going to be met by a temporary rise in price, right? So we hit that support, and when we finally hit that support, we have that temporary rise in price. That's what we just now had. You can even see here on the RSI, once it crossed down there on the bottom, you can see it just started to go up and rise from there. But now we see that the RSI is crossing again, but at the top of that pattern, pretty much indicating that there's about to be another drop inside of the price for Dogecoin. And it's pretty interesting because Dogecoin is up 1.6% in the last 24 hours, had a little bit of a rise and an increase earlier. So that's good, right? So we had the rise there for Dogecoin, but we're also seeing we also had a rise here for Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a rise, and so did everything else in the crypto market. Everything is pretty much following Bitcoin at this point. And right now, this is actually a very good thing for the market because I still predict that we're going to have a drop in the crypto market, but this is good because then it'll give you that buying opportunity. We just need it to hurry up and bottom out. That's what we're looking for. Lots of people have been mentioning how we're supposed to be dropping back down inside of Bitcoin, having a 20K Bitcoin, 15K Bitcoin. I've seen people talk about 10K Bitcoin, but I don't think it's going that low. But 20K Bitcoin, yes, I can definitely see that happening. 15K Bitcoin, that's a possibility as well, but it's more likely that we go down to 20K, but it is possible still that we go down to 15K. Just want you to know that. But with Dogecoin, this is pretty interesting because we just now got rejected up here at this resistance all the way up here. Now that's pretty crazy because we were once inside of trading inside of this pattern here, but we broke out of this pattern on the downside, and now we're trying to break back into that pattern. But notice how we can't. Notice how we're getting rejected, trying to get back into that same pattern that we were once in before. It's not going to happen. So what you're seeing now is the decrease inside the price here. So now you can see that we've crossed here at the top of that RSI. Now watch as we slowly but surely go down here with Dogecoin. Now the RSI, this is the Stoch RSI. If you want to look at this inside of the automated indicators here for TradingView, you can go ahead and look that up. These are the stock indicators for TradingView. Now everything else that I'm using all on the screen up here, this is all through Chart Prime. Link in the description for that if you want to go ahead and look that up. Now, as we can see though, Dogecoin does look like it's about to go back down here to that 0.059 area. Now, from there, the real question is how far lower will Dogecoin go after that? I do believe that we will go down to these 0.056 areas here for Dogecoin, down to the mid 5 cents areas. But if you also look at the 15-minute chart here for Dogecoin, you can also see that it could have another little temporary rise in the price, right? It's not just destined that it'll just straight drop all the way down. It can still rise temporarily, like I mentioned in the previous video. And that's exactly what happened. We had that temporary rise in our price because we were hitting this momentum wave band. If you watched that video yesterday, I was like, look, now that we're hitting the momentum wave band, we're probably about to have a temporary rise in our price as well. And that's exactly what happened. We hit the momentum wave band, and then we had the temporary rise inside of the price. But now, if you look at this trading pattern here, it is showing that we're about to break out of it again. Now, this time you can see the RSI is crossing and going downwards, indicating that we're going to have some selling. But it's possible that it stops halfway around here and then goes right back up, right? So we are crossing downwards here on the RSI, but it's possible that it goes right back up right before it finally hits the bottom, which is this area. So that could pretty much indicate that we might stop where we are now, right? And then have that increase in price going back up to this resistance area here on the momentum wave band. So that'll be around 0.063, 0.062. So it's possible that we have a temporary rise to these levels temporarily, and then we could possibly have the next breakout, which could be down to the downside. This is going to be a huge breakout like going upwards. This is going to be a breakout to the downside. So that's probably what's going to end up happening after we have that temporary increase in price. And if you want to look at it from the perspective here of the 4-hour chart, the 4-hour chart's even more telling because if you look at this, again, this RSI is crossing, showing that we are going to have that temporary drop down here, but then it's probably going to stop, like I said, in the middle. And then that increase in price is probably going to bring us here. Now you can see how this line is curving downwards here. This is showing that this is where the resistance is about to now build itself upon. So it's probably about to stop right there at 0.063, just like how we've seen on the 15-minute chart. The top of the momentum wave band on the 15-minute chart was 0.063. And notice how this now a red line here for our indicators is now showing that that's where our new resistance is about to start forming itself at. Now, if we were to go back and look at the 15-minute chart, you would see the same thing, 0.063. That's the top of our momentum wave band. So it's probably about to go up, possibly to the top of the momentum wave band, right, hitting 0.063 before that next drop inside of the Dogecoin prices. Now that drop could continue to go down as well. It could continue to bring us down even further inside of the price of Dogecoin. Now, if we look over here at the 4-hour chart here for Dogecoin, that could bring us a little bit lower than what we are now, like after we get rejected, obviously at 0.063, and then that could bring us down to the bottom of this momentum wave band, 0.056. So that's what we're looking for right now. We're looking for Dogecoin to go around 0.056. So that is pretty much the projection here for Dogecoin. And we'll see what happens exactly. But even the whole crypto market, with Bitcoin and everything is on a decline. Everything is decreasing. It's not just Dogecoin. Obviously, we had a temporary increase inside of our price, but that's only temporary. Like, we're about to probably get another drop here. So this is like I would call this like a bullish fake out, or you can just call it like a bull trap, right? They're trapping the bulls right now. People think we're about to become really bullish, but they're really just trapping them. Just like back here, that was a bull trap going from 25.9K all the way up here to 27.9K. Went up a whole 2K. But that was a bull trap. It immediately dropped after that. Notice how as soon as it did that, it immediately dropped. And then we kept going sideways, sideways, sideways. Had another pump, immediately dropped sideways, sideways. We dumped a little bit, went back up. But now, after that pump that we just now had, we may see this drop again. So this is pretty telling about what's about to happen in the crypto market. Everything's so volatile right now. And I truly do believe that we're probably about to have another drop. Like, look at what happens every single time we have these temporary increases in our price here for Bitcoin. Like, if you look at it, it's always followed by an immediate drop, almost immediately all the time. So you can see it happen here, immediate drop. And now we dropped again, had a little bit of an increase in price, but it could be followed by another immediate drop there. And that's why I'm saying 20K Bitcoin's probably coming next. And as for Dogecoin is going to be about the subpar of 5 cents areas, somewhere around 5 cents. So that's probably the area where we should be watching out for Dogecoin. Now, looking at the 1 week chart here for Dogecoin, this is like a very long-term chart if you want to look at it like that. This one is pretty interesting because obviously we still have the 5 cent support, right? So we still have that support that brings us down there. Now, I don't really see Dogecoin going back to 0.009, but it's a possibility if Bitcoin goes down to 15K. If Bitcoin goes down to 15K, Dogecoin could see unforeseen areas and add on another zero and go to 0.009. I know nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's always a possibility if Bitcoin, has a huge drop. But what I do want you to realize is look at how close we are to the bottom of this RSI. Now, sometimes, we trade sideways when we hit the bottom of that RSI, right? You can see here how we traded sideways on the bottom of that RSI down here. But the same thing could happen again where we get down here on the RSI, trade sideways for a little bit. And when it trades sideways on the RSI, it's actually a downtrend, as you can see. So it trades sideways on the bottom. That's a downtrend. You can see it back here, traded sideways just for a little bit on a little downtrend, but then it had almost immediate increase inside of price. So we will probably end up seeing another increase in price here inside of Dogecoin almost immediately after pulling back and reaching our 5 cent areas that we've been talking about. Like I said, we're even trading inside of this pattern here. So we could always see that pullback inside of the price here and then a rise inside of the price from there. Now, there's also another scenario that can happen here. If you look at the supports here, another thing that could happen here for Dogecoin, maybe we don't break down below 6 cents, right? Maybe we don't go to the 5 cent area because, we have some strong support here at 6 cents. I'm not going to lie. It's looking pretty strong. Like, it just does not want to go below 6 cents Dogecoin, right? But if it doesn't and we actually do stay strong, then we actually have the possibility of pumping up a little bit more to try to get past this 0.075 area. If we can get past that 75 area, that's pretty much going to confirm the bullish rally here for Dogecoin. Because you can see when it got up to 11 cents, it was bullish temporarily, but it's very temporary. But if we can just get past 7 cents and then make our way up to 11 cents and then also break 11 cents, then that is what could actually pretty much deem us as bullish. But that's a huge roll of dice situation. There's a lot going on inside of the overall financial markets. They're talking about raising interest rates again. There's a lot going on, and a lot of analysts are also predicting that Bitcoin goes down to 15 to 20K. So inevitably, that's going to bring everything else down with it, including Dogecoin. The only way Dogecoin breaks away from that Bitcoin cycle in the overall crypto cycle is whenever Elon Musk makes a statement about Dogecoin, or just something big with Dogecoin happens, right? Which is typically Elon Musk. But yeah, this is all I got for you all today. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think Dogecoin's going down to 5 cents? Do you think it's going to do that bearish scenario where it goes down to 5 cents? Or do you think we're going to do that bullish scenario to where we go up to 7 cents? So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Anyways, this is all I got for you all today. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this financial advice. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want these automated trading indicators, definitely go ahead and check out Chart Prime. Link is inside of the description. And as always, I'll be back with another video.